Well, good evening, everybody. This is HB, CEO of iBuumerang, right here in Houston, Texas, actually calling in right now. Want to say hello, everybody. I know we've got our lines that are actually packing out all over the place right now. I want to say congratulations also to everybody who's on this call, who is already a TSA, a part of the movement. The month of April was absolutely phenomenal. Last month, and we're already off to an incredible start this month here on the first day of May. We have some great information for everybody who's on the call. And if you're on the call and you feel that you have given everything that you've got, great. But for 99.9% of you, there's probably somebody that you know of who can benefit from the information that I'm actually going to share tonight. Today, actually, we're starting actually our ninth commission week that we're actually going to be starting here. I'm going to talk to you about what's actually taken place over the last 8 weeks, some of the records that we've actually been able to break, and some of the future records that are actually to be set. And for all of our guests that we have out there, our esteemed guests, number one, I want to say congratulations to you. I want to thank you also for taking some time away from the NBA playoffs or from some of the soccer games. If you're over there in Europe, if it's early in the morning and you're over there in Asia, I want to congratulate you and thank you for joining us on this call tonight. I promise you tonight will be a life-altering moment for you. The information that I want to share tonight, I can tell you, has already had a major impact on the lives of so many people around the world. So I'll tell you what, instead of belaboring the point, we're going to go ahead and get started. I think our Zoom is already almost maxed out with over 1,000 different connections. And what we find out is that some of our connections are averaging about 4 people per connection. So we're talking about 4,000 people just on our Zoom alone. Our Facebook Live is already approaching 700 connections on Facebook Live. And then on our Spanish line, our Spanish line is maxed out as well. So if you hear me speaking a little bit slow, it's because our Spanish interpreters right now are interpreting everything that I'm saying. We've got people all over the world, even in other languages other than Spanish, that are actually interpreting this call as well. So number one, congratulations again. So let me go ahead and get started here. For those of you who don't know, again, I'll introduce myself. My name is Holton Buggs. I'm actually calling in from what we call the flight deck, Houston, Texas. This is our corporate office. One of these days, I'll give you a tour of our corporate office. We've had some of our top leaders in here all day as we were actually putting together a plan, moving into some record-breaking territory that we did today, some incredible video that we put together as well. But why are you here today? Number one, somebody actually gave you a message. Somebody actually talked to you and asked you maybe a question or a series of questions about your future. They probably asked you, do you love to travel? If you had a chance to live in 5-star resorts for 3-star prices, would you actually do it? And what we find is that the majority of people, that's exactly what they'd like to do. Or they may have asked you something about your financial independence. Have you ever thought about being debt-free, living a life debt-free, traveling all around the world for pennies on the dollar while improving and increasing your lifestyle? Whatever they have asked you or whatever they talk to you about, what I want you to do for the next 30 minutes is I want you to pay very close attention to what we've actually put together here in this presentation, because I can tell you right now, with the people that I've had a chance to meet over the last 50 days, it's been absolutely incredible for people all over the entire world. My background, I'll share with you a little bit of my background so that you'll know a little of who I am, and so that I won't be a stranger to you. I grew up in a very conservative household from a financial standpoint. We were poor. I didn't know it. I didn't know it until I got to college. I was the first person in my family to go to college, and during that time, I actually set 2 records. I was the first person to go to college, and everybody in my family was so proud. I broke the curse. I made it to college, but I was also the first person in my family to drop out of college. And I'm not saying that because I'm proud of it. I'm saying it because I actually found opportunity as an entrepreneur while I was in college. I knew that life as an engineer, which is what I went to school for, was not going to allow me to live the dreams that I would always dream. And it was nothing wrong with being an engineer, but there was something inside of me that said, Holton, there's more for you. If you really want more, there's more for you. And I remember the times that some people would get a little jealous of other very successful and wealthy people, and they would try to encourage me to just be content. You don't need to have a house that big, and you don't need to have so many cars. You can only drive one at a time. And my inner spirit didn't sit well with it. My inner spirit said, you know what? If it's available, why not have it? And if I don't want it, then I don't have to use it. Ladies and gentlemen, what I was really expressing to myself is that I really wanted a concept called freedom. And freedom is really what I was after. And going through college, working my way through college, I realized that a job was not going to allow me to be free. What I did realize, however, was that many of the people that I actually would have been working for would have been free. They had their freedom, and I wanted to be on the other side. I wanted to be a business owner. But what I didn't want is I didn't want all of the perils and all of the shackles of a traditional business. And so I turned to this industry called network marketing. And I got to be very candid with you. My first 7 years, I never really made any money whatsoever. $500 was the maximum amount of income that I'd earned. But I remember seeing people stand on stage and talk about this thing called freedom, and that's what attracted me. And that freedom of independence, financial independence, being able to live life on my own terms is something that I really wanted. I couldn't even describe it because I had never seen it before, but I wanted it. And ladies and gentlemen, I went through 7 years of learning. I'll just put it that way, 7 years of learning. But I can tell you this, a little bit later in my career, I got connected with some of the right people, and I learned something about systems. I learned a few things also about this business and this industry, and I actually was able to experience the other side. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of teams that I've had a chance to lead people all over the entire world in over 50 plus countries before. And I've built teams now that have reached nearly 3 million distributors with selling over $3 billion worth of revenue in my own personal organization. Needless to say, my wife and I have been financially independent, and my family have been financially independent for a very, very, very long time. I retired at the age of 26, became a millionaire at the age of 28, a multimillionaire at the age of 30, and at the age of 32, I was responsible for creating an environment, whereas my very first person who made $1 million is now our global master ambassador, whose name is Edwin Haynes. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this, because of what I've learned, and I don't take credit for it, but because of what I've learned, I actually was able to lay the foundation, create a system and an environment where over 42 other people became multimillionaires through our system. But one of the things that I was really frustrated with was many of the things that were promised in the industry of network marketing wasn't actually happening. Many people, such as myself, were standing on stage and talking about freedom and being able to will and transfer an income over to people. And I can tell you, with over 2 billion distributors that have actually joined the network marketing industry, myself, I couldn't turn around and point to one person in this industry who can look around and say, hey, listen, this huge mansion that we have, or this estate that we have, no matter how big or how small, was actually left to us by our great grandmother and grandfather who actually built network marketing, and we still live off the residuals today. But I never forget, I was continuing to perpetuate the story because that's what I heard through my upline. And so, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that I left the industry of network marketing much better than when I entered this industry in 1990. It's been 29 years now that I've actually been a part of this industry. And because I've had so much success and become influential to so many people, I took personal responsibility of saying, let me make the difference instead of looking for someone else to make a difference. And ladies and gentlemen, about 50 days ago, a company called iBuumerang was actually born. I'll share with you the entire concept of iBuumerang, the philosophy behind it, but more importantly, why it was started. And I can tell you right now, it was started for you. You know, we've got on the call tonight some professional network marketers. We've got people on this call who've actually earned millions and millions, and some who've earned tens of millions of dollars. And I'll be very candid to you. I didn't start this company for them. Do we want them? Do we embrace them? Of course we do. But you don't have to start a company for a person like me. You don't have to start a company for a person who's already become an icon in the industry. They can take any product, they can take any company, they can take any system, and they can go out there and make it actually work. But what about the rest of us? What about the 99% of the people? What about the Holton Buggs, is my first 7 years in network marketing, who had never made even $500 a month? What about those people? A company has to be built for the promises that were made for those people. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why iBuumerang actually began. And so I want to share a presentation with you today. And today we're going to do something a little different as well. Today is the very first day of May. And at the end of this presentation, because I actually anticipate that those of you who are looking today, I anticipate that you're going to want to do this. I anticipate that you'll become what we call a travel savings ambassador, and you'll actually join us here in iBuumerang. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 5 quick steps to getting started as we are actually launching into the full compensation plan starting next week. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. And let me see if I can get my presentation up here. There we go. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Tigger. I appreciate it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you're ready to rock and roll, and if you can actually put all of your attention towards what we're going to talk about tonight, if you could, in the chat, in the Facebook Live, I need you to go boom. Okay, I need you to go boom. This is the month of May. This is boom month. So let's go ahead and talk about iBuumerang, and let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what we're going to get involved with. As I mentioned to you earlier today, I was looking for the network marketing industry to evolve. What I found is that there's been this huge recycling bin. Many of you who are on this call, you've been a part of those presentations. You've actually been a part of the companies. And I'm not here to actually put down any company whatsoever. I am an ambassador for the entire industry, and I want the entire industry of network marketing to grow. But more importantly, I wanted it to evolve. And you know what I've seen? I've seen that the internet has allowed company after company after company, rookie after rookie after rookie, to just have an online presence, start a company, and take total responsibility for the futures of so many people, but they weren't actually prepared. I knew that it was time for this industry to evolve, and I took personal responsibility and said, you know what, let's not look for somebody else to make the evolution. Let's go ahead and start it here, and it starts right now here with iBuumerang, ladies and gentlemen. One of the things that we wanted to do that was much different that I found in the industry is have what we call a first-class consumer experience. We'll tell you what that experience really means. Typically in the network marketing industry, our customers actually join us for one reason. It's because we present them with a product and we're actually a friend of theirs. And what they do is that they buy the product from us, double the price or triple the price, that they actually can get it from any other place in the marketplace, but they do it because we brought that product to them. But what I found over the last 60 years is that the average customer lasts about 79 days on the product. They spend about $35 per month with us, and they really net about $105 of revenue every single year for us. If we make 20%, that means we'll make $21 per year per customer. One of the things that I was fed up with is most companies promise all the riches, but they never tell us this is what the real statistics are. I knew that something had to change, and so I developed what was called the PRIB, the first perpetual residual income builder. This is a first in the industry of network marketing. For so often, what uplines and company owners and systems have told people is, hey, listen, you go out, you follow up with the distributors. You follow up with all of your customers. And when the follow-ups don't work, you know what we tell them? You need personal development. And for years, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I was actually hearing. This is what 99% of the people were hearing. They were hearing something must be wrong with me because my upline keeps telling me I got to have more development, more development. I got to go through more trainings and more trainings and more trainings. And what I realized was the people weren't broke. See, I believe you, if you're on this call as a guest, if you're on this call as a distributor, I believe you're already perfect. I believe you were already designed perfectly for network marketing. But what I do believe is imperfect was the system. Why don't we change the way the system worked? What if we develop and design a system or product that would actually work much harder than any distributor could? What if we designed a system that would do all of the follow-up for you instead of making you do something that's completely unnatural? If I was to take a poll right now on all the people that's on here and ask how many of you really enjoy selling, probably only about 5% of the people enjoy selling. But in network marketing, If you don't sell, no volume gets generated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce you to a system here that is impossible to sell anything. And it's not because we want to give you an easy to do business. It's just that we have a very simple system. And once you understand exactly what it is that we do, you will understand that network marketing has actually evolved and started right here with iBuumerang. In the old model, as I mentioned to you before, customers actually pay more. And typically only the strong recruiters actually win. This is why I've been able to earn the type of money that I've earned in network marketing. I've sponsored hundreds and hundreds of other individuals because of maybe a charismatic personality or willingness to do more than any other person would ever do. But what I find is this, that the average person in network marketing, they only sponsor about 2.5 people or 2.5 people the entire time they're in business. And so when you start looking at real true lifestyle and you look at what the averages do, something is wrong. It's not matching up. Less than 0.1% of the people are able to live a full-time, incredible life in the industry of network marketing up until this company was started called iBuumerang. Now, here's a new model. The new model is this. What if you only earn money when your customers save money? See, with iBuumerang, we've designed it so that the only time we earn $1 is when our customers actually save $2. Ladies and gentlemen, that's completely different. Some of you at the end may look at this as what some have called the anti-network marketing jargon. It's not that we're anti-network marketing. I am pro-network marketing. I love this industry. 29 years that I've been here. But what I realized is that the system was broken. For so long, ladies and gentlemen, I'll never forget 5 years ago, I became enamored with the concept of Uber. See, the transportation industry was broken. It wasn't that people were broken or taxi cab drivers were broken. Uber and Travis Kalanick came up with the system that said, what if we use the technology that just transformed the industry? We don't have to make the industry grow bigger. Let's just change the way that it's being done. Hence, Uber's become one of the fastest growing company or the fastest growing company in the history of the world. And ladies and gentlemen, iBuumerang is on track right now to becoming the fastest growing company in the history of network marketing. And so we're going to display that and share with you exactly how we're doing it. When you look at how we're going to bring this vision to the world, well, what we did is we started with our leading gateway industry, and that is the industry of travel. I want you to pay close attention and think about it. But when you think about travel, every time I talk to people, one of the biggest things that they want to do is they want to go somewhere that they've never gone, experience something that they've never experienced, and nobody actually says, I like to pay full price for it. When you look at travel, today it's an $8 trillion industry. All over the world, if you look at the screen, you'll see the actual revenues that are generated in different countries or different continents. Look at Asia, $6 billion per day. You look at United States, $2.8 billion per day in travel. Now, what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? The travel industry is not something that we're looking to evolve. We're not looking to increase the travel industry. It's going to grow with or without us. As a matter of fact, I was looking at a statistic that Mark Kithcart, our VP of marketing, sent, and he said that the millennials are actually the largest group of travelers that will spend more money than any other group of people. As a matter of fact, they're spending right now a minimum of $5,000 per vacation. Why? Because they look at social media, they look at all the places around the world, and social media has shrunken the size of this earth, and they feel like they want to go out there and do it. But we also know that millennials are the lowest earning. What if there was a way for not only millennials, but you to be able to live in 5-star resorts on your vacation, but only pay 3-star prices? See, ladies and gentlemen, that now becomes a combination for a win. Let me share with you how we're going to do some of this. Let me share with you a couple of things that I never knew before, and maybe you didn't know it as well. Did you know that there was only 2 companies that actually monopolize the entire travel industry? You've got Expedia and you've got Booking Holdings. When you take these 2 together, they control about 98% of all travel websites. So when you imagine, whenever you go and searching for travel, this is why you find the majority of the prices are pretty much the same. Maybe a $5 or $10 difference, but that's about it. I want you to imagine, If you own all of the hamburger shops all in your city and you control the price of hamburgers and you set it at $7 a hamburger, do you know what will happen after about 4 or 5 years? $7 per hamburger will become normal. Why? Because there's no such thing as a $2 or $3 hamburger. But what happens, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's what we call a backdoor pricing to the travel industry. And so this is where extreme travel comes into play. And I'll tell you a little bit more about extreme travel a little bit later. Extreme travel has actually allowed us to come together with what we call backdoor or member-based pricing. Member-based pricing is when we can actually show some of the true costs of travel. Remember, if you got 98% control of the market, you can actually set hotel prices of whatever it is that you want, and that becomes normal. Well, it's not normal to people who have memberships. And not, you know what? It's no longer normal for me. I can tell you right now, with the success that we've enjoyed, I can pretty much stay anywhere around the world that I want and never have to look at a price tag. But I can tell you that's not the way I grew up. I told you I grew up poor, and I still have some of those philosophies of wanting to save money. And one of the reasons that I was so eager to get this product out is because before I actually launched this company, I'd actually start using this technology and giving this technology away to friends of mine and watch the savings all over the world. Now, with how we put it together, extreme travel is one of the backbone to us being able to do many of the things that we're doing here. Now, here's the thing I want to warn you about. You'll see a lot of different companies in the travel industry, specifically in network marketing. People always ask me, Holton, what's the difference between this company and that company? Well, I can tell you, there's a lot of differences, okay? It's the same thing. If you take a look at the basketball NBA, what's the difference between, some of the championship teams and the other ones? They all play basketball, but there's probably a few key players, okay, that the Warriors have that other teams don't have. It's the exact same thing here. What's the difference between iBuumerang? You take the leadership team that we have here with myself and David Manning, the CEO of Extreme Travel. You take a look at Edwin Haynes, a student of this industry for over 20 plus years who've earned millions and millions and millions of dollars and has actually helped people all over the place. You take a look at our Peter Hirsch. He's got so many different titles. I get confused sometimes as to what his role is. He and Karen are Blue Diamonds with our company, but he's also our Chief Giving Officer. You take a look at Jose Luis, who is our other Blue Diamond, and many of the other diamonds and top tier leadership that we have. Terrence Gray, our VP of our VP of everything, as we call him, and then Mark Kipcart, our VP of marketing. Take a look at Lori Spears. Lori Spear, and Lori is she's been our director of travel at Extreme Travel, and she's been around the travel industry for over 36 years. She is a travel icon. So when you take a look at Extreme Travel, if anybody ever has a travel experience, whether it's your customer or yourself, with iBuumerang, Extreme Travel steps in and makes sure that we get our consumer and our TSAs taken care of. If you can take a look at some of the achievements that we've actually accomplished here with FunJet Platinum 500 member, Norwegian Cruise Line, President's Club, Delta Vacation, Diamond Elite, and many, many, many other ones. But that's one of the critical things about Extreme Travel. Let's talk a little bit about how we actually do this and what we've actually put together here. We've developed a technology, ladies and gentlemen, that part of our technology is exclusive to iBuumerang. Now, this platform is not just a one-off platform. There's others that have this technology. As a matter of fact, we've seen this technology sold for about 4 or 5, sometimes even 25 times more than what we actually sell it for. Why? Because of the value that is present. But what we've done is this: we put together what's called an iGo website. iGo really is short for I Go for Less. It's a wholesale travel booking platform that allows our TSAs to save up to 70% off of retail prices. So ladies and gentlemen, let me set the expectations for you. Is 100% of the time that you're going to go find 70% off? Absolutely not. But you know what? I was talking with a lady the other day, and she saved $36 on a hotel. You know what she told me? She says, HB, I just want to let you know, thank you so much for this company. She said, because often when I travel, I have to skip one of my meals. But because I saved $36, I was able to have my breakfast. I was able to also have lunch, and I was also able to have dinner. And I didn't have to take it out of my pocket. I took it from the savings that I had. And so when I heard that story, it made me think, wow, that's absolutely amazing. That's why this company was actually started. So what does this platform gives us? The iGo platform gives us the ability to save money. It gives us the ability also to refer travel if we want group travel to Extreme. For those of you out there who say, hey, listen, I would love to be a travel agent, you know what? That opportunity is available. Just check with us within about 30 to 60 more days, and there's a additional travel agent opportunity that will be available for those of you who just are infatuated with being a travel agent. Now, we have that opportunity right now where you can start referring travel to Extreme and actually earn a percentage of the commissions. But most importantly, what I want you to understand that you've got is over $8 trillion worth of inventory, and you've got it right there online. You've got it right there online. This is huge. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I've been involved in network marketing for 29 years. And when I can say that I've got $8 trillion of inventory online and it never cost me one dime, it's amazing. I've been in product businesses before, whereas people who didn't have the money actually had to invest in large sums, hundreds of dollars per month in inventory, just so that they can actually go out there and sell the product successfully. Now, let's give you an example of how this platform actually works. I don't want to call it magic. I just want to call it real technology. I want to share with you how we've become what I call the Uber of the travel industry. For example, take a look at this hotel example that I want to give you here. We went to Expedia and we went to our travel booking engine at the same time for the same dates in the same hotel room. What we found in this example, a room that was $339 per night. Over here with the iGo platform, it was $178 per night. We saved $161 per night. Now, some of you may look at that and say that's not a real big deal. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is a real big deal. Same hotel, same room, $161 per night. Over in Paris, France, I actually just left Paris, France, and I was able to save money at my hotel in Paris, France. I was actually at a 5-star resort that was there at Plaza Athene, the Dorchester Hotel, and I saved money using this platform. But with this one here, somebody was there at Paris, France when we pulled this one up. It was $440 per night, but on our iGo platform was $130 a night. That's a $310 savings. Now, ladies and gentlemen, people don't travel all the way from one country to Paris for one night or 2 nights. Typically, it's 5 to 7 nights. So that could have been anywhere between a $1,500 to a $2,100 savings. Okay. But it's not only on hotels. Other different things that we've got savings on as well. Here's a car rental, $392 on our site, $221, $171 savings. As a matter of fact, we just recently had something over in Mexico, Tijuana, Mexico. And I don't say this to say that these are going to be prices all the time. I just want to relate to you some of the deals that we actually do have that you can enjoy as a TSA with iBuumerang. Person actually had a rental car and it was $3 per day. And that was not for a compact car. It was not for a mid-size car. It was for the step above mid-size, $3 per day. We also have other specials and deals that we put together as well. Ladies and gentlemen, because of how much travel we're booking and now getting the attention of our supplier as probably their #1 travel seller, we're getting unbelievable deals. And I can tell you right now, just in 50 days, we're just 50 days old right now. I want you to take a look at us when we're 90 days old. I want you to take a look at us and be here when we're 180 days old, 6 months old. What you are experiencing right now is just the very beginning. It's the tip of the iceberg. An example, $1,215 for this week, 7 days, $712 on our site is a $503 savings. Ladies and gentlemen, what could you do with it? See, what I tell people is this. As a matter of fact, this is one of the ways that I get people started in the business. I find a husband and wife team who loves to travel, and I look right at the wife and I say, let me ask you a question. Would you like to travel more for less? And she said, absolutely. And I pull up one of these examples like this one. I say, you know what? This room didn't come with $503 savings. This room came with a pair of Christian Louboutins. And every single time the ladies are able to put that together and say, you absolutely right. So ladies and gentlemen, when I show you these savings, what I want you to do is put that savings dollars towards something. What could that represent for you if that was your experience? Now, here's some other reservations here that were actually taking place. What you're looking at are legitimate, real reservations. These are the confirmations that actually come back to you once you've made the booking. I'll go through them very quickly, and what we've done is illustrated what those savings were right below it. Here was another hotel reservation, whereas the actual price of the booking was $397, but the actual savings, ladies and gentlemen, was $848. $848. So my question is this here. Some people are not comfortable even staying in 5-star resorts. But what if you stayed in a 3 or 4-star resort like this one was, but you still saved $848 for maybe a 4, 5, or 6, or 7 days? It's huge. What could you do with $848? Maybe, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, that may be the beginning of one of those Gucci bags or something like that, right? So take a look at this second one here. The second one, the reservation cost $287, the savings $532. So 321 reward credit points, and all of these reward points can be used for future travel as well. This third one is a good friend of mine. It's actually our Korean ambassadors, our ambassadors that we have for Korea, Sophie and Johnny Chung. They actually came to visit me in Houston. The price of it was $945. They saved $999. They were staying right there at the Galleria Mall. They got 1,008 points for it. And here's what happened. I'll never forget it. They came, they were so fired up and excited about the savings, but I didn't want to tell Sophie that she can go out and save that money or spend that money on shopping. They took me to one of my favorite sushi restaurants and actually laid everything out for me. And so guess what? They didn't even have to pay for my sushi. It actually came from the savings. Now, here's one on the right that I didn't block out the name. Why? It's my own personal. This was before I actually launched iBuumerang. This is one of the ones that gave me so much confirmation that people, no matter what level of travel that they want, whether you're 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, or an exotic traveler, you can actually benefit here. I went over there to Los Cabos, Mexico, and my reservation came to $1,348. But this was after they had removed $1,589 of normal cost associated with 5 days, 4 nights of an all-inclusive, meaning that it was hotel, it was my food, it was my tips, it was drinks, it was everything, taxes all included, $1,348, and I got 1,687 reward credit points. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. I love to travel, and I love to travel for less. And here's what I found. Bed sleep much better when I don't pay full retail. Now, in addition to that, there's so many other benefits that we have with our platform. I won't go into all of those details, but cruises as well. We're able to get rebates back on cruises. I'll forewarn you that there's no discounts that you'll see immediately on airline tickets. But I can tell you, because of the inventory and some of the routes that are actually available through iBuumerang, I've had so many people to tell me that the flight choices that they've had with us, they've actually saved money on any other booking engine that they've actually seen. But remember, there's no discounts there. So many different other benefits. We've got a restaurant club that allows you to actually choose the restaurant that you're going to go eat at anyway. You choose the restaurant, you buy the gift card, and you save 60% off of what you were going to spend on your food anyway. Those are just additional benefits for being a part of this iGo platform. Now, my question for you is this, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hear it in the chats. Do you boomerang? I want to know, do you boomerang? Boomerang is a concept. You say, well, why'd you name the company Boomerang? Here's one of the reasons why. Because I can tell you what I've done is I prided myself on being able to be a giver. See, when I first got involved in this industry, I wasn't looking to give. I was poor. I didn't have money. I was in debt, $250,000 in debt. I was 45 days, 45 days behind, or 45 days away from foreclosure. And my car had just gotten repossessed. What I was looking for at that moment, I was looking to get. I wasn't looking to give because I didn't feel like I had anything to give. And then, ladies and gentlemen, when I start to get to the point of earning money, I realized truly that money doesn't make you happy. I'd actually got to the height of my career and was earning obscene amounts of money, more money than I would ever spend in probably over 50 to 100 years. It was that amount of money. And I was not really happy in my profession. And here's what I learned. I learned and I picked up a habit, and I said every single day, because I'm not happy, I'm going to make it an effort to make at least one person happy per day. Because I found out whatever it is that you don't have, go out there and give it, and it'll come back to you. And every single day I start giving at least a compliment. Every single day I start doing some little deed to make sure that somebody's life was going to be better. And I wasn't doing it because I wanted more money. I was doing it because I really, truly wanted happiness. And ladies and gentlemen, back then I was practicing boomerang and had no idea that 5 years later I would start a company called Boomerang. Boomerang is the ability to go out and give goodwill every single day. I challenge each and every person on this call that it's not necessarily just about the money, but make somebody else's life better every day and watch how big your smile is when you wake up every single morning. And so what we've done is taken that concept and built an entire company around the concept. Here's an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, Boomerang, for you to be able to not only give goodwill, but to do something that's going to impact somebody's life and give them an experience that they probably never would have had. You know, when I think about that lady who was able to save $36 on a hotel and just get all of her meals, that was a form of Boomerang. Had this company not been generated or started, you know what? She would have missed the meal as she was traveling because she travels on a budget. But Boomerang is a concept that we're able to actually give this technology away for free. Here's what I realized. Typically in network marketing, we want people to sell, sell, sell. Here's the thing. There's nothing that we sell. I promise you, there's $8 trillion worth of travel for our customers to buy. It just so happened we don't have to sell it to them. If you think about it, has Uber ever called you up and said, hey, listen, you need to take a ride. We've got discounts on rides today. Uber gives you a technology. You download it on your phone. You've never turned it off. You've never resigned from it. And anytime you want to use the technology, you know what? You press the button and your ride is there. Typically, that ride is less expensive than your traditional forms of transportation. And guess what? Uber has actually provided a service. You know what? iBuumerang has worked on that exact same principle. I can tell you what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. In the month of April, we averaged a little over 1,000 customers actually activating their boomerangs every single day. Yesterday alone, which was the final day of our month, over 2,046 customers actually said, I want to be a part of iBuumerang. So if you're asking me, is it working? Absolutely is working. There's not one company that I can think of in the history of network marketing that has acquired more real customers than iBuumerang in its first 50 days of business. Here's why. When we give out a boomerang to a customer, they're able to enjoy 50% of the savings that are available to us. Now you say, well, why not 100%? Because it's free to them. And a savings is still a savings. How many of you have ever heard a penny saved is a penny earned? That means also $50 saved is $50 earned. Well, how do we do this? We put together a compensation plan to reward, number one, our customers. Our customers in this product and this technology, it's free to try the technology and it's free to keep it. It will never, ever, ever, ever cost our customers one penny whatsoever. And they can use it anytime that they want. There's no minimums, there's no maximums whatsoever. And every time they use the technology and there's a savings of $1, 50 cents come back to you in the form of a commission. Let me give you an example of how this works. On the example here, I've got two examples. One is what I call an extreme example of the 70% that we have. Not every savings is going to be 70%. Here was an all-inclusive resort in Mexico. It was 5 days, 4 nights. If you look at the public price, the cheapest price between Expedia, Travelocity, Orbitz, all of those other companies was $4,867. Well, if you were a TSA, meaning that you were with us, you were in business with us, you actually got it for $3,300 or $3,400 savings and only paid $1,467. If you were a Boomerang customer, meaning you never paid for anything, you just activated your Boomerang, the technology exists on your phone, you never pay for it from now to the end of time, you would have received 50% of those savings and would have only paid $3,168. But that would have been a $1,700 savings to you, and you would have been ecstatic. Well, let me back up. Not $1,700 savings, ladies and gentlemen, or ladies. Maybe that was a Gucci bag and a wallet that came with that resort, or a little bit of shopping, if you know what I'm talking about. But what would have happened to you as a travel savings ambassador? You throw out goodwill. Your customers save $1,700, and our compensation plan, a portion of it, will actually come back and reward you with a travel savings bonus of $849. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get any better than that. It's never existed in the history of network marketing. Here's what I want to look you right into the camera and let you know right now. If you can look me in the eyes, and hopefully you can see. The first company and the only company in the history of network marketing that can actually take the savings, this is from the CEO, take the savings from travel savings and turn it into commissions and pay all of that commission back to its distributors or travel savings ambassadors, is iBuumerang. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the reasons that we're actually breaking so many records. Now, let me give you a couple of examples of how we actually get paid. I'm going to give you a couple of models meaning from the Boomerang aspect, from building a team, and from aligning your team, setting your team up, and sharing with you what incomes are available as you set your team up. To make this real simple, let's say that you get started and you put together a list of quick 10 people that you would love to encourage to become Boomerang customers. Remember, it costs them nothing whatsoever. Well, you get 10 customers, they activate their Boomerang. And in this example here, let's just say that the annual savings combined with all of the usage that they have per Boomerang customer is $600 per year. Just $600 per year. Some may do that on one vacation or one hotel stay alone. Well, if you got 10 people who did that, that's $6,000 in savings. And remember, anybody that you save money, 50% of their savings come back to you. You now just earned $3,000. It's a Boomerang principle. If you want to get a little deeper, let's say you built a team of 100 customers. Some people will look at this and say, hey, listen, I'll put together a marketing plan and do that. If you did that, that's $60,000 in savings. That's a $30,000 income for you. If you wanted to be more aggressive and say, hey, listen, you know what? I'm going to put together a plan. And I'm going to do over 3 years. I'm going to do what HB did 5 years ago. And that is make somebody's life better every single day. And if you don't know what to do, why don't you give a Boomerang away every day? In 3 years, you'd have over 1,000 customers that you have personally to you. And if they only traveled individually, not including the groups, not if they invited their church or their club or any memberships that they're a part of, just individual travel alone, and they average $600 savings per year, ladies and gentlemen, you just saved 1,000 people a total of $600,000. What comes back to you? $300,000 that you would have earned that year in just travel saving ambassador income. This is for the person who says, you know what? I'm not into network marketing. I don't want to build an organization. I just want to build myself some customers and earn income without selling whatsoever. I can tell you, 29 years in the network marketing industry, there's not a product in network marketing that anybody's ever invented that have these types of expectations or returns. I told you it was time for the network marketing industry to evolve. It just that we needed the right technology and the right concept. Travel, iBuumerang, and this technology equals a major, major win. This is why we're attracting so many people who never would have done network marketing, not until iBuumerang came around. I want to share with you the team builder model. What if you decided to build a team? See, here's one of the other things that we wanted to do, the myth buster. The myth buster of true residual income. Find me a person who actually has it, who's been able to will it and transfer it to their heirs, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll jump up and down for you, 29 years, and I know a lot of people in this industry that just hadn't found it. And I thought about it. I've got a 21-year-old son. I joined network marketing so that I can build an income one time and be able to say, hey, son, listen, this income that I've actually built and worked for, I'll be able to pass it on to you, and maybe even my grandchildren. But when I looked at network marketing and found that the real statistics were 79 days was the length of time customers would actually stay on products, I didn't see a real promising future. But here, there's no reason for a person to quit Boomerang. Doesn't cost them anything. Just think about it. How many people do you know of who's ever picked up the phone or got on the email and said, I quit Uber? Don't quit, because it costs them nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are watching right now, here's the thing I want to share with you. I'm not going to share with you all the rosy information. I'll share some information that's true that you probably won't hear from other companies. Most companies tell you who are 40, 50, or even 10 years old, they'll tell you it's better today. The opportunity is better today than it was when we first got started. And I'm here to tell you it's not true. And it won't be true for iBuumerang either. I want you to know that 10 years from now, the opportunity to get customers won't be the same. It won't be as available as it is today. When you think about it, almost everybody that you know of has an Uber app in their phone. What if you were trying to become an Uber network marketing distributor and get customers? It'd be a little bit more difficult. Why? Because Uber customers don't quit, and neither will iBuumerang customers. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is right for you right now. You're here today. Don't get caught in the trap where it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years later, you're looking at the opportunity saying, I really wish I would have believed what he was talking about. But in this example here, let's say you built a team of 50 distributors, right? You didn't bring them all in, but maybe you sponsored 10 of them, and those 10 sponsored 5. Now you've got 50 distributors. Guess what happens? You share with them the concept of Boomerang. They get 10 customers. You now have 500 customers that you're overriding. We'll base this on each customer having an annual savings of $600 based on their travel. Some are going to have a lot more, specifically your business travelers. But when you look at it, you're going to override that revenue, and you'll earn about $58 per day on the average. That's $1,726 per month, or $20,000 extra per year. Ladies and gentlemen, just think about it. Network marketing is not designed for everybody to get rich. It's designed for those who want to get rich. But could you use an extra $20,000 a year for building a team of 50? See, the thing I love about it is that even if all 50 in this example quit, that income comes in. Why? It's based off of customers, not distributors. What if you built a team of 250? That's $103,000 per year. If you built a team of 1,000, ladies and gentlemen, that's $1,151 every single day, simply based off of the savings income that comes from iBuumerang customers who are simply using us to purchase their travel at a discount. My question is this: if it's the same room, if it's the same hotel, if it's the same car rental company, if it's the same cruise ship and same cruise line, why pay retail? Join iBuumerang or become a customer, get it at wholesale. Get it at a discount. I want to share with you now that if you wanted to start building a team and actually take advantage of this compensation plan, this legacy-based compensation plan that we're putting in place, here's one of the ways that you can do it. Because some of you say, well, you know what, when people travel, they may travel 90 days from now. Well, what about now money? What about how can I make some money today? Ladies and gentlemen, starting on the 6th or starting this month here, we're putting our binary compensation plan in place. And I can promise you right now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got so many people who come to the table because they understand that this is the biggest payout in the history of network marketing. Direct sales bonuses, meaning that when you get involved and you actually sell someone one of their TSA package, you'll be able to make the commissions that you see here, associated commissions here. Selling a coach plan, you can earn $20. Selling a business class, you can earn $40. And selling first class, you can earn $80 in earnings and commissions here. And the dual team commission, meaning that you'll be able to earn commissions from all of those people who are enrolled indirectly, all the way down through infinity. What is the cap? It pays up to $250,000 per week with one single position. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you in 29 years, I've never seen a compensation plan that will reward people as strong and as fair as iBuumerang. And when you think about building that team and those people who are getting customers and all of those boomerang customers who are free, who go out and pay less for their travel, and simply because they paid less, your residual income continues to roll in to your estate. And this is the first company that I can look you in the eye and say, you build a business, you stick with iBuumerang for 12 months, you will have a pipeline of customers, and you have an opportunity to leave something to your children. I've got people right now saying, I want to build and leave 100,000 customers. And I want to put it in my will. Why? Because they know those 100,000 customers in their network will never quit. Why? Because they'll never have to pay for our service and our technology, and we'll provide to them better travel savings than any other company that's in the travel industry. Ladies and gentlemen, getting yourself positioned and started is $49. This is what we call the onboarding process, getting involved and saying, hey, listen, here's the first step that I want to take is I want access to being able to buy one of these packages. You start out for $49. And with that, you're going to get a Boomerang customer site. You are a Boomerang customer with extra benefits. You actually get 5 boomerangs to send. You can actually start referring customers to Extreme Travel and start receiving 25% of the commissions just with that alone. You receive a presentation that will actually go out and do much of the work for you, an online TSA management system, and it's $49 per month to have it. People say, well, what's the $49 per month for here? Let me give you an example. I talked to you about the Prib. I want you to imagine having all of these customers in your network and maybe yourself having 100 customers. Let me ask you a question. Would you pay $1.25 per day to have seasoned professionals, artificial intelligence, data analytics with a Zappos human resource philosophy to follow up and to make sure that your customers understand all of the benefits that are available with iBuumerang? Or do you want to take your precious time making the phone calls, following up and doing what we all failed at in every other network marketing company? So ladies and gentlemen, the Prib, the perpetual residual income builder, and the ability to have this site, all of that for $49 per month. Well, let's take a deeper dive and share with you what else is available. There's 3 other packages that you can actually choose if you want to activate your position. If you want to start taking advantage of that binary compensation plan and that dual team, here's what you can do. You can choose one of 3 of these packages. Or you can activate by waiting for your customers to generate enough revenue, and then your site becomes activated. There's no purchase required. But most people choose one of these packages. The coach package is $250. What comes along with it? You now are a full TSA, which means you get 100% of the savings that are available. You now have access to hotel discounts. You actually have access to booking flights, rental car discounts, and you actually get 10 boomerangs. You actually get 50% of all of that boomerang income that they're going to be generating from your, in terms of your customers. And in the dual team or binary compensation plan, we pay you 10% on the lesser team. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you've got business class. Business class basically gives you the same as coach, but then you're going to have access to cruises. You get 25 boomerangs, 15 additional that you had before. 100% of the savings commissions are available to you, and we actually bump you up 2%. Some of you say, well, 2% doesn't sound like a lot. Well, what if you did 200,000 in volume on that pay side? That's an extra $2,000 just because you had business class, whereas it only cost you $500. It's a $1,500 profit that you actually made, even if it took you a year to generate $200,000 in revenue on that entire team. What we do at the business class, we also give you 1 week pre-sale to all of our luxury experiences that we have, just like the one we have coming up here in Cancun, Mexico at the El Dorado 5-star luxury resort. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you right now, there's nothing like flying first class. First class gives you business class. It gives you homes, which we've got over 400,000 beautiful homes. Some are multi-million-dollar homes. This package alone, we found companies who charge $13,000 to $20,000 just for this inventory alone. I was going through it the other day with someone sharing with them the homes and price comparisons compared to Airbnb, VRB, and home away from home. And guess what happened? iBuumerang, ladies and gentlemen, with our iGo platform, we actually dominated them. We also have lifestyle, we have timeshare, we have marketplace. There's so much that comes along with it. You get 50 boomerangs that you'll receive, but here's one of the things that's really important that's for a limited time, and it's really, really limited. That means that normally you'll receive 15% commissions. What we've done for a limited time is that we put 20% commissions on the first class. For those of you who join now, 20%, and we grandfather it for 1 full year from the date that you actually get started with that first class package. One of the things I can tell you as an expert in a binary compensation plan is that 20% is 100% more than 10%. It's a lot more. It's like going to apply for a job that says, hey, listen, we've got the same position, but you can choose your salary. You can either choose $50,000 a year as a salary, or you can choose $100,000 a year as a salary, but you're going to do the same work. Most of you would choose $100,000 a year. That's exactly what it's like experiencing first class plus even more. So ladies and gentlemen, the main thing I want to share with you is getting yourself started. Don't get started tomorrow. Don't get started the day after that. Get yourself started today. Today is May 1st, and I can tell you this month is going to be an absolutely explosive month that we're going to have here with iBuumerang. With that binary compensation plan, I can tell you what we're doing right now. Many of our distributors are going to be placed in a holding tank, which means that you have the ability to start building your business. And because of all of the new growth that will be coming into the business afterwards, some of it have a potential of being part of your network. That's the explosive growth of a binary compensation plan. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to extend an invitation to each person who's on this call, and I welcome you. And I ask you to join us in this mission. Let us change the industry of network marketing. Let's deliver the promise that we've all heard, but we've all fallen short on, because all we've done is recycle promises over and over and over and over and over, and different companies with different names on it. My goal for you, and I can tell you it's definitely certain for me, is to make iBuumerang not a pause, not a comma, not even a question mark. I want to make iBuumerang the period at the end of your network marketing career. That there will never, ever be another company, that you'll never have to fill out another application and start over with the same questions. Is this real? Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you it is absolutely real. What I want to do now, for those of you, because I anticipate that you're getting started with us, I want to share with you 5 simple steps. And if you're a leader in iBuumerang, I want you to stay tuned here, because here are the things that you should be sharing with every single person that actually becomes a part of your team. What we have to do is wait until we come into our full compensation plan before we start laying out the getting started simple trainings. And what I want to share with you is this here. It's called our Fast Start training, and I'll take maybe about 10 minutes more and explain to you what the Fast Start training is really all about. First of all, I want to say congratulations. If those of you, if you're on the call right now as a guest, I'd love for you to just go ahead and type into the chat. If you're on our chat, just put I am in. I am in. If you're in iBuumerang, you're ready to rock and roll. You are ready to become a part of this journey. Put I am in, just to let people know that you are with us. Let's go through this Fast Start training so you'll know exactly what to do. First thing I want to share with you is this. If you're in the business already as well, this applies to you. That means each person, even if you were here in the month of February when we started with Countdown for Freedom, this is your first Fast Start training. Number one thing, and I want to share this with you, is I want each person, I want you to write down your dream destination. Where is it that you would love to go? One of the biggest issues that I find is this, is that most people's memories are much bigger than their dreams. See, we remember when we couldn't afford this. We remember when we couldn't pay for this. We remember all the debts, and we remember all the bad things. But one of the things that get us stopped in our tracks is that we can't even see where it is that we want to go. Ladies and gentlemen, oftentimes I get into a meeting and I do a training, and I've done it with thousands of people, and I actually ask them, write down a list of 100 things that you love to accomplish before you die. And I give them 15 minutes to fill it out. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this, 90+% of the room can't get past 16. Why? Because all we think about is how much money we make. All we think about is how much we don't make. All we think about is all the limitations that we have. But I can tell you, your first step towards a new life, your first step towards residual income starts with the dream. And ladies and gentlemen, just think about it. If money was no object, you can even do it on a discount or even do it for free. Write down your dream destination. Put it in the chat and tell me where you want to go. Don't think of the limitations. Don't think if you can get off of work. Don't think if your boss would allow you to go. I want you to think like free, like you're free. Here's what I know about freedom. It must be practiced before it's experienced. Practice freedom and write down your dream destination. Send it to your sponsor. Let them know, here's where I want to go. Here's how long I like to stay. Here's who I want to take with me. This is so crucial and so critical. Why? Because see, if I introduce you to iBuumerang, I want you to send it to me. Why? Because every time I answer the phone and every time I talk to you, here's what I'm going to be thinking of. I'm going to have it right below your name. I'm going to have the destination of where you want to go. Why? Because I want to know what I'm working for. And your sponsor wants to know as well. Write down your dream destination, send it to your sponsor. Step number 2, I want you to put together a list of 100 people, a list of 100 people, a list of 50 opportunity seekers, and a list of 50 travel saving seekers, people who are looking for an additional income, people who are looking to save money on travel, which pretty much encompasses about everybody. When you take that list, what we're going to do is your sponsor will get with you and share with you a simple invite or a simple script that you'll be able to use that you'll send to the opportunity seekers. And that is your I Decide presentation that's going to do all the work for you. We'll also share with you exactly what to do in terms of getting your first 10 boomerang customers. People ask me all the time. This is why I wear my boomerang gear everywhere I go. I'm with my hat, my shirt, and every day someone asks me, iBuumerang, what's that? And I say, you know, it's a technology that I use to stay in 5-star resorts for 3-star prices. They say, well, how do you do that? I say, well, it's free to try and free to keep. All I need is your name and phone number. I'll actually get you started on the savings, but there's only one catch. They say, well, what's the catch? I'll say, make sure you send me a selfie on your first savings experience. That's it. And ladies and gentlemen, I am 100%. That means every single time the person actually wants the technology, it costs them absolutely nothing. Step number 3 is I want you to become a jet setter. We're going to talk about jet setting a little bit later on, and we're going to actually have recognition around this here. A jet setter. What is a jet setter? A jet setter is a person that within the first 10 days that are able to activate 10 boomerang customers and get 10 I Decide sent out, and you do it within the first 10 days. We're actually going to be setting up our systems that we're tracking all of this, and we'll actually be giving formal recognition for our jet setters, okay? And so once you're able to do this, ladies and gentlemen, you are now light years ahead of where most people are in network marketing. Most people never get 20 exposures done within their first 10 days. This is step number 3. Make sure you become a jet setter, okay? Step number 4, here's what we want you to do. We want you to set up 4 good parties. Why? Because we want you to have a good time. You say, well, what is good? 4 get out of debt parties. People say, well, aren't these travel parties? Well, no, because we're not necessarily traveling. What we're doing is when I talk to someone, I'm sharing with people how to get out of debt. Why do we want to set up 4? Because here's the thing that we want you to do. We want to actually put a dent in your debt in your very first 4 weeks in iBuumerang. We want to see how much of a percentage of your debt can we eliminate in the very first month. And what we're going to do is share with you how we set those good parties up, invite some people over, let the I Decide presentation roll, and actually expand your business while you start earning income. And I promise you, you set up 4 good parties, we will actually put a dent in your debt. The other thing I love for you to do along with step 4 is write down your get out of debt date. What's your get out of debt date and goal? And make sure that you send it to yourself. You don't have to send it to your sponsor, send it to yourself, because our philosophy is priding people on freedom. Not only freedom from a job, but freedom from the burden of debt. Being completely debt-free, and it was what I can tell you, is a very liberating feeling, ladies and gentlemen. Step number 5, here's what I'd like for you to do. Step number 5 is find out what our next event is. Get yourself registered for our next event. We've got an event that's actually going to be sold out. We know it will, because we can't hold all the people that will be in iBuumerang. It's going to be August 31st to September the 2nd, and it's going to be in no other place than Las Vegas, Nevada. When you get yourself in iBuumerang in your back office, you're going to see our big, huge event that we'll have. Get yourself there, register for that event. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want you to do. Everybody who's on this call right now, and I'm going to do a training on this a little bit later on. I want you to make an 18-month commitment to you and your family. I want you to get with your spouse. I want you to get with your son. I want you to get with your daughter, whoever it is that you live with. And I want you to set 18 months apart. Why? Because I'm going to show you how to build a pipeline over the next 12 to 18 months of distributors and customers coming into your network. It takes 12 solid months for the average person, but I'll give them up to 18 to build what I call a consistent pipeline of distributors who actually have Boomerang customers. Why? See, 12 months from now, I want you to start the month of May already knowing for the next 6 months what your income is. Why? Because you've got a pipeline of customers that are booking their own travel as Boomerang customers, and those savings we can actually show you, and they're projected 6 months out. That's what's unique, and that's what's different about iBuumerang. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I can go on and on and on and on and on. I want you to make sure that tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, you get some of those people who are the top 50 on your list, opportunity seekers, get them on this conference call tomorrow. We'll have one of our esteemed professionals doing another presentation. And then tomorrow also at 8 o'clock p.m., just like this one, we'll have another opportunity call that will take place. You know, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned to you, I built this company for you. I call it the FUBU company, for us, by us, for distributors, by distributors. I want you to join us in this crusade of changing the industry of network marketing, eliminating debt and frustration, and setting people free. And why not start with you? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attention. And I can't wait to spend time with you on the beaches of the world, literally. We'll see you at the top. Goodbye, everybody.